Hey guys, how's it going? Frank Kersey here again. I told you I would report back to you today with Netflix. Netflix is an interesting story. So over the past couple of days, this is pretty cool if you think about it. About 10 sell-side firms raised their estimates on Netflix and their report on Monday. You see that happen maybe once or twice, a few different stocks, maybe one or two firms come out, but every single firm is positive on the company heading into Monday. They all raise their estimates. We're talking about Goldman raised their target, Morgan Stanley raised their target, Oppenheimer, FBR, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, UPS, all these guys have targets of around 220. The stock's trading at an all-time high, pretty close to $200 today, and they report earnings on Monday after the close. When you look at these kinds of expectations and how Netflix ran up into the quarter, it makes for an interesting trade, and here's why. I think Netflix is going to be a good short, probably Monday afternoon, and here's why. JP Morgan came out with an interesting study. Something happened for the first time since the credit crisis. Last earnings season, 70% of the companies beat earnings estimates. Now that's average, right? Every time companies report earnings, it's the S&P 500 companies, see who beats earnings, who doesn't. Around 70% beat earnings. Out of the 70% that beat earnings, the average stock price was flat after they reported and beat those earnings. So in other words, after they raised or beat earnings, their stock price went down. It didn't go up, which is kind of interesting if you think about it. And it's happening now too. You look at the bank stocks I reported yesterday, almost every one of them, JP Morgan, Citigroup, they all beat their estimates. And what happened? Their stock declined. Domino's reported, another company, beat estimates and the stock declined. So now you have Netflix with all these high expectations heading into the quarter. We know they're going to have great subscription growth, especially internationally. You know that the company's going to report fantastic earnings, fantastic numbers across the board, but a lot of this is factored in right now. Almost like the CEO or whoever went out and said, hey, we're going to have great numbers, right? I mean, how often do you see every single analyst that covers a stock raise estimates 2 days before the report? So something had to be said. So everyone's expecting these great earnings. But based on what happened where we're looking at last quarter, how many companies beat, and we're seeing that trend happen early on in earnings season, which just started this week, where companies are beating, even raising their estimates, and their stocks are selling off. Why? Probably because they're really expensive right now. Expectations are sky high, and expectations have never been this high for Netflix, where everybody has raised their target. They only raised it around 10% higher. So the average target is around 220. I think Goldman Sachs has 230, 235 is the highest target. Stocks trading around 200. I think Netflix, Monday after the close, you can hold me to this, it's going to be interesting. They're going to report blockbuster numbers, strong international growth. They're going to talk about how they're raising prices. Finally, this company may have pricing power. They didn't have that a couple of years ago, right? They raised prices and the stock got crushed. So a lot of positives going on, but I see the same trend happening. I see them reporting fantastic numbers. This is going to be Monday after the close. You'll probably see the stock jump a little bit. And let's see what happens afterwards. I think the stock's going to come down probably around 5-7%. If I had to guess, I could be wrong. It's a coin flip. But let's see, it's a trend I want to track going forward through this earnings season. Because again, last quarter, JP Morgan, great note that they put out, that the companies that beat, they showed no price movement to the upside. So almost every single company that beat, it's the first time that happened since the credit crisis, and it's happening now. I think it's going to happen with Netflix on Monday. Let's take a look. You can hold me to my word. It's going to be interesting. I put myself on the line here. But I think Netflix is going to be a good short, probably around mid-Monday before the report, because it'll probably run up a little bit higher Monday before the report after the close. Let's see, and I'll report back to you. Take care.